Now it's time for our outstanding athletes. The first athlete I'd like to talk about is Ismail Foz from Central High School. Now, Ismail Foz, nickname is Izzy, has had quite a journey to get to where he is now. Before coming to America, he lived in Burundi, Africa's small African country which borders Rwanda and Tanzania. With his mother living in England and father still living in Africa, Foz decided to start a new life and go on a new journey in a new country by himself and found himself moving to Arizona, which is roughly 9,000 miles away from Burundi. Now at Central High School, the word family is used a lot in each sports program, but this word means a little bit more to Foz, as Coach Chandler Hovick took Foz into his home and became a legal guardian to him. And before this, he was staying with his coach. He was staying in group homes and occasionally with his older cousin who already lives in Arizona. So this was his first opportunity of having a real home. And Hovick first met Foz in a PE class during Foz's freshman year and saw that he was athletic, he was a good kid, he was smart, and he said, hey, why don't you try for the football team? So he started playing football his sophomore year, and after some training and preparation, he became the starting kicker for the Bobcats. Now, while his story, finding sports is so unique and special, he was always a genius in the classroom, while being a three-sport athlete through soccer, football, and track. He also has kept a 4.0 GPA and has maintained straight A's in all of his classes. His first language is Swahili, but he also knows French, Spanish, and 3 other African native languages, and of course English. Now, Foz has dreams of making the NFL as a kicker for one of the 32 teams, but if that doesn't pan out, he plans to become a doctor. Now, Foz came to America to experience a better life, and thanks to Hovick and the Central High School community, he said he feels he is a part of something meaningful, even saying, "This is my family right here. I kind of take on my football team as my brothers. All of my coaches are everything to me. My team is a part of my family." Now, Daniel, what do you guys think? What do you think about Foz, his journey to get to America?
Man, this is a beautiful story. First of all, this kid decided to leave 9,000 miles away from home.
As a freshman, he's a 15-year-old kid.
Both his parents just left by himself. I think that's amazing courage. First of all, Second, I mean, he's killing it here.
Oh yeah, I mean, and every fashion too. He played soccer, in his old country. He comes over here, he continues to play soccer, but he's a kicker because obviously if you can play soccer, you can kick a ball.
Yeah.
So his coach obviously saw that in the PE class, and Chandler Hovick was the Cardinals Coach of the Week just a few weeks ago. So he is doing great things in this program. I think this is his first year as a coach, I believe, for Central, and he's great. I mean, taking this kid into his home, adopting him, and becoming a legal guardian to him. I think it's it's the American dream if you think about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm truly, truly impressed. Now, Landon, tell me about your athlete.
Now, this outstanding player is from Liberty High School and is shining super bright. He leads his team in receiving yards already with 463 yards on the season. But that's not the crazy part. You may think 463 yards in half a season is a lot, but half of those yards was put up in one game. Prince put up 232 yards against Pinnacle High School in the second game of the season, showing everyone he's a dog on the field, and he only had 7 targets. And out of those 7 targets, he had 3 touchdowns. Now, I couldn't find his GPA, but he's definitely holding a 3.0 because that's what you have to be on the field. Now, Prince is a top player for his school and also a multi-sport athlete and runs track as well, which is great for him because he shows he's a hard worker and even puts in the work besides football. Now, Prince already has 7 touchdowns on the season and is projected to have about 14 to 15 in the regular season, and that's not even counting the postseason. We can't wait to see what else Prince has in store for us, as he is Navi Bruzan's favorite target. Now, we can't wait for big things from this young man.
Well, guys, Liberty, we know, is the number 1 team in Arizona. And with that territory, we can say that Prince is arguably one of the best receivers in the state. I mean, he's the number 1 target for the number 1 team in the state. I mean, Navi Bruzon's one of the top quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He's one of the top receivers, and they're a dynamic duo. You said 230 yards in a single game against Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Great Pinnacle defense.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
Pinnacle's a great team, and to put that many yards up, and you said 7 receptions
7 receptions, 200 plus
and
yards.
3 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, he was doing everything that game. Only week two. I mean, you know, sometimes you don't see those great performances till end of the season when they're kind of in their groove and they're used to how things are going. But he said early on, I'm a dog. You know, he showed us
it's
that.
also his senior year, so he's
He's definitely
gotta
out
ball
to
out.
get in.
You know?
Got to ball out. Now, guys, Ismail Foz, Prince, what do you guys think about them? You know, you mentioned 463 yards halfway through, and you know Ismail is a kicker. Do you guys think that going into their next year's school, a lot is right in for them? You know, in terms of expectations.
I mean, for Prince, it's his senior year.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
I
right.
think
Senior year.
I think he like for himself, he's out to prove that he's
trying to get offers.
he's a top athlete.
Mhm.
Right.
He's trying to. I mean, I'm sure playing at this high of a level, he wants to keep going. You know, he'll want to play college, whether it's D1, D2, D3, doesn't even matter. He wants to play at that higher level.
Right.
Because somebody that's putting up numbers like that, I mean, that shows they're putting in the work to practice. First of all,
And
they're
at
putting
top,
in the
top
reps.
school.
Yeah, they're at the
nonetheless.
top of the power rankings. True.
Right.
So he's definitely going to want to play more.
Certainly.
This is a year to prove it.
Exactly, and this is the year to win the championship. I mean, this is his last shot to get that ring for the state title, and I think this team that they have at Liberty is a perfect team to get it done. I mean, if you look at every which way, they have a great defense, great quarterback, great receivers, they have a great coaching staff, and that just you got to have a great coaching staff to be one of those top teams, and they have everything. I mean, they check all the boxes, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the championship this year and even win it all. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of expecting it with them being the number one team. Beating
Basha,
beating Basha, smacking Basha, which Basha was another team that I saw coming into the season. They're going to be really, really good this year. They got a lot of young talent, a lot of guys that are playing up in the varsity level that are going to be playing varsity for a few years now, and they're going to be great. Going back to Ismail, he'll be a senior next year, so obviously he has a lot of expectations going into the next season. He is one of the top kickers in the state, which is rightfully so. He's very, very accurate with his extra point kicks, field goal kicks, and the team definitely leans on him because the kicking game in high school isn't a consistent thing, I would say.
No.
You don't see guys going out there and kicking 60-yard field goals in high school. You don't see him kicking 50, and it's rare to see a guy make a 40-yard field goal. But he can do it. I mean, plays soccer, he does track, plays football now. He's living with his coach. Him and his coach have just, they have a great chemistry, great connection, and I think that's going to help him in the long run. Even if he goes to college and plays football in college, that'll even help him because he can always call his, you can even say his parents, as his legal guardian, say, hey, how do I do this? How do I do this? So you can get that training, that preparation that maybe a college coach who doesn't know anything about him could give him. But, shout out to both these athletes. I can't wait to see how they finish the year. Hopefully they can both finish strong with winning records. Central High School is amazing this year, and obviously Liberty is too. So I can't wait to see how things pan out for both these teams in the playoffs if they both get there. Hey guys, that's going to wrap up our outstanding athletes right here on the Varsity Squad Show. Up next, we're going to do our AIA and CAA report, so don't go away.